Welcome to episode 15. Let's carry on. Do some more. See, I think. Here we go. So, done that bit. That's not bad. That's on best on the top. Next, I'll just grind these back a bit, and then I'm going to have to cut out this piece. I think I'm going to take it all the way to the C-pillar, drill out these spot welds. Need to replace up to there, about there, probably do it along to here, and then like that. And then I'm going to have to come all the way down to the and then because it was just blowing through there, can you see it keeps blowing through, and I tried extending it, so this must be really thin, this piece. Right, let's get some welds ground back now. There we go, flatted back, couple of holes to fill in after I've flatted back, same with that one. Got to drill some spot welds out next, start cutting this piece out, and I've just ground my finger. Not too bad. Right, so that's that piece cut out. Obviously I'll have to grind back the spot welds and up the C-pillar, clean it up, rust treat it, fix that little bit just at the bottom there, and then I can make up a new section. This one's in worse state than the other side ruler. Replace the whole chunk, whereas on the other side I've just put a couple of bits in. I was going to try and cut it there, you see, but it's too rusty underneath here on the inside. You can see there it's all really quite bad underneath there at that end, so I'll just replace the whole lot. So yeah, I do it a similar way to what I did this side, only I'm probably going to pinch the steel and the lip off that repair panel. There is a rib about here, but I'll just bash it flat or even cut it out. So I've marked out on that repair panel the section I need to cut off, but it's got that rib on. I'm going to try and press that flat on my press. Light's not so good this morning. Yeah, we'll see if that'll work. Get it set up and see if we can press it. But morning, it's been cold. It's been really icy and cold and everything. Anyway, so I cut out that section like I said I was going to do. Spoiler. Pressed it flat. See, it's only got half a section on the top lip, bottom lip. But I wasn't really happy with it because although it's pretty flat, it's still got marks in it and stuff. So I made a new piece, started from scratch, and just cut a piece out. I've got a bend there. I need to trim it a little bit here, trim it a little bit here, trim it just a tiny bit there, but that fits really well. Then I can mark it to put the next fold on, and then I'm going to pinch that bit, I think it is, to make the return section. And then obviously I'm going to pinch the bottom lip as well and use that. But then obviously that I've got to indent a bit and put the two holes in. So I've just got to do a few bits and pieces to get that made. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm just going to do some tweaking. Oh yeah, that was just that piece of steel. It was just the remains of the floor section that I'd used for the steel blank. So let's just do a bit of tweaking. I've also got the rust treat on there, on this panel where the rusty bits were. I'm down here, flatten these little spot welds off. Let's just try that again. I'm trying to do it one-handed. Now, let's have a look. It fitted pretty well before. That's not bad. think I need to do it two-handed. Yep, so that's just needs a tiny bit more there. So I'm just going to mark that there. Pen. There, and then it'll need that bit as well. Yeah, it's where that weld is in that corner. So in there, it's not quite fitting. There we go, so I've got that nice, so it's fitting along there. And at the top, that gap's bigger than I want. Without the pieces in, it does come closer. But it'll allow me to mark where to fold. And next I'm going to clamp in a piece of flat steel. Good thick stuff. Put it in somehow. Apart from it won't fit, will it? I'll have to mark it and do it off the car. Back to square one. Let's think again. Because I want something that's going to fit in at that end, so it's got to be the right width. And the right width here. This is too wide. And too wide that way to go in there. So I need something a bit smaller. I'll have to go hunting. There we go. Old chain whip that I made when I was a kid. So that allows me to just locate it against there at that end. Same at this end on the inner end of that weld. And I can scribe along there, and that's my line. I can clamp it on. I can also fold against that if I want to. But because it's not square at this end, I will swap it. I think I'll start it and then swap it, I think. Just clamped my bigger piece in the vise, clamped it on in the right place and just tapped it over with a hammer. It's pretty straight. It'll need tweaking a bit when it's in. I'm going to go and try it in now. Let's take that off. Now I can compare it to the actual piece taken off. So, it looked like a bit too much, so it just needs bending back a little bit. As you can see, I've just bent it over just a tiny bit too much. No, it's the first bend that's a bit too much. Right, what's it look like? Right, okay. So the next return is going to have to be welded on this section. Got a big piece to fill in here, look. It's not bad actually. So I've dropped the bottom piece of my scribe and I can't find it. So next I've got to make from about that line, round on that bend, across the top of the channel and up where the window rubber sits. Now I was just going to pinch this bit, but that won't work because there's holes here. So we're getting there. Made myself a little kit. So top lip, cut and folded to replace that section. Bottom piece there, top piece over there. Just need to join them two together. Cut that little bit, sink that in, cut that, bend that to go over the outer bit, weld those two together, and then I've got my lip to go on the bottom, which I've pinched off the other one. Getting there. Right, I need to cut that to the right size next and then weld them two together. I have to do this in pieces. I'll probably do that piece first because that's easy when it's like that. Think. And then I've got too much on that, but I wanted to cut it with too much. I just got to measure what that distance is. I could put a flange on that, and then I've got a bit of adjustment on it. You can see that piece is longer than the other side, which will then allow me to fill that gap in. have we got then? The other side, hang on. Move my hammer. So now, a bit long, you see, it's got stuck. But that'll go on there, and then it fills that little gap in. And then that just needs trimming a bit at that end. But I won't do that until I've adjusted this to line up. And then the lip will be a bit tall as well, and then I'll sand it down. It doesn't fit, but you can see I've allowed 12mm on the windowsill lip, and I think it's 11 to the fold. It just gives me that extra little bit to grind off. But that fits better against that C-post there now. So I'll keep this piece and fill this piece into the other one. So I can actually pretty much do most of my adjustment on this one and weld it at the bottom, like along there. So in other words, I can cut most of that piece off and then put that like that, which will fill that gap in at that end. But yeah, that's enough for today. I might do a little bit more later, but not right now. The only thing I need to do is just mark where to put my holes on there, so I'll probably do that now actually. So we've got, if I mark about 1mm off centre, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. So punch or drill holes. I'll probably punch if I can get my hole punch in those. Probably can. I think I can. You know, I'm probably not going to use this piece either. I'm probably going to end up making my own lip to go on the bottom as well, like that. Just because it's too long anyway. It needs trimming. I'll probably just end up making my own, you know. I don't know. I'll see. It's not far off. Have a think. So Sunday morning, 5th of January. We've had snow. You see the snow outside? You might be able to see the snow outside. Anyway, I've got this piece finished now. Needs a lick of prime, and then that's ready to go in. So yeah, welded, cut and welded the top section, cut that piece, sunk that in, welded, drilled the holes. I did try pressing it, but all it did was started to bend it and break the weld. Got a bit of splatter about. Let's just go try it in a minute. It's not perfect, but it will perfectly do. Yeah, let's just go try it in the other side. Right, so I'm going to try and do this one-handed as best I can. No, I can't, hang on. Right, there we go. So, it sort of fits here, all down here, up that end. Like I say, I've got about another 1mm off the top to grind flat when I've got it in. Just that end will need clamping and everything once it's in place. So yeah, that just needs pushing in a bit at the top there, I don't know whether you can see, but that'll do. That'll be alright. It's a little bit high on that spot weld, but it will come down to line up there. But then that end goes off, so what I'll have to do is tack that first and then manipulate the rest into place. So you can see like down there now, it's a little bit tighter down there, so it just needs a little bit more fettling off that bottom there to get that to slot in without pushing it up. When it goes in, it pushes it up. So I've just got a little bit more to grind off in there. To be fair, it'll be easier on that corner. Just a little bit, so I'm not going to prime it or anything until I've got that, so I'm happy with it. But all this end's right. So when that lines up at the top, it's right. So leave it at that for this video. Thanks for watching. See you in episode 16.